Hi, welcome. It's weird to be talking so candidly again. I'm still processing everything. And so I imagine I will be verbally processing throughout this video. And I also want to talk about my why. Like, how did I come back to art when I didn't think I ever would again? But I have no structure to this, so we're gonna see what happens. Do I have to make an intro? Or something. Today I would like to start a new sketchbook. It's very shiny. Let me get it out of the plastic. Ooh, she's a fun texture. Poor baby got dented. I know how that feels. And I don't want you to think you need to like run out and buy this sketchbook. I mean, for one, I don't even know if it's any good. 2, I don't know how to pronounce it. And 3, I just get square sketchbooks because it's easier for filming. Like, look, when I open it up, it's so white. It fills the frame perfectly. That's really the only reason. Decken mit der Hand, if you know what I mean. Oh, it says thank you. Oh, I know what that means. Ooh, that crisp new sketchbook feeling. Did you hear the noise that made? It sounded like an alien gun. Well, he remembers the drill. He literally does not walk around like this normally. It's because I'm talking to you. He's a little adventurer. Yeah, I'm talking about you. What? What are you doing? How'd you get water up on your head like that? That must have been some aggressive gulping. Feel free to sit down anytime. I haven't decided if I'm going to like customize this. I've been really loving the cleanliness. I remember I always wanted to be that person that liked stickers all over it, but I'm realizing I'm not that person. Are these pages numbered? No, they're not. I don't feel like any of this applies to what I bought. Ew, what is that? There is a little bit of crud in here. It's like a crunchy booger or something. What's that? Well, it's gone now. Or we could design this. I'm so out of sorts. I have no idea what I'm doing. What? Feel a little shy. Ooh, what's all this? I found stickers. But I definitely do not have the bandwidth right now to do the cover of this sketchbook if I decide to do something with that. Which means this is where we will be sketching. So the only thing that I have in my head right now is I want something with like a border of some kind. Like, I don't know if it'll be like made out of flowers. You know what I mean? You know, something with a border. But like from here, you could put in like a character, like a princess would fit in here real nice. What if we do like the pointy head princesses with like the veil? The princess of the sketchbook. Of course, she doesn't really fit in this frame, but that could be solved. I don't love it. I think what we need to start with is actually character design. So if we're going with like the profile head looking thing, maybe we do want a princess. We haven't really decided yet. We're just making some marks. I'll be honest, I was really surprised when I finally did try to draw again. I thought I would like have lost a lot of skill, and I definitely there were definitely some things where I'm like, oh, I need to kind of look that up. But it was like I could remember what I had forgotten. A nice princess veil. Ooh la la. And she needs a crown. But something I did definitely notice was that I lost like a little bit of the like patience for when it's not turning out. I miss drawing. I like think about drawing a lot, and I just haven't been drawing. And I'm like, so I'm gonna get myself a sketchbook. I need more hair. I want to see hair. I want to see some hair. I've been drawing again since about March. That's 2 months ago. Yes. And yeah, I had been just thinking about art a lot, and like every time I looked at an object, I'd be like, oh, I kind of want to draw that thing. Like, it could have been a blade of grass. And I would just be like, looking at it, like, I wonder if I could draw that. And I hadn't drawn in so long that I was like kind of scared to, but I noticed it was something that was like calling me to it, you know? And it was really bizarre because I legitimately did not think I would ever draw again. And like, you can say, yeah, you were wrong, and I could have told you were wrong at the time, but I firmly believed it. Because the thought of drawing, like, filled me with dread. I can't really describe it. Oh, I kind of want her hand up here, like, holding the veil. Like, it could be more part of the illustration. You know, if her hand was, like, doing something like... Oh, that could be cute. Now she has 3 arms. I'm really just rambling with my art and my words. Which arm do we like? We'll just keep them both until we make a definitive decision. So yeah, 3 months ago, started drawing a sketchbook. Essentially, I started this thing up. Oh, whoa, it was the end of March. Why do I feel like way more time went by than that? Wow, it hasn't even been 2 months. Okay, crazy. Anyway, what was my point? What on earth was my point? Yeah, I told you, this is all over the place. But this is real. This is me. I'm exactly how. Oh wow. Took out the good hand and left the left hand. Okay, yeah. So I was making that video and I was like really falling in love with art. Even its like tedious parts. It was like I had just been like, it was like someone just kind of like poured everything I needed into myself to make that video. I don't know how else to describe it. I had the patience I needed. I had like the persistence I needed. And I had like this, I just had the goal to make it because I was like, I want to share this with you. I used to write lots of stories and things like that. And it gave me an opportunity to stretch that muscle too. And I think the storytelling with the art and video editing, which I love, is like all three of these things compounded together was like fueling me too. And so it put in my brain that I actually do love art. So that's when I started the sketchbook. I really wanted to get back in the groove of things. Art would start feeling more natural to me again. Anyway, fizzled out. And then I thought maybe it's the storytelling aspect of it that I like, and it's not actually the art. And I started doing some major soul searching. All like brought on by making this video. And I just was like really trying to find answers. And then I finished the video and I really just didn't feel like it was done. It didn't really feel like it could actually summarize everything that had happened in a way that felt authentic. And I just wasn't sure what to do with it. So I kind of sat with that video for a little bit. It was like probably 98% done. And then I just kind of chickened out. Because I'm like, it's not good enough. And all of a sudden, all the tears that I had like there were times when I was drawing some of those things that my eyes were so full of tears, I couldn't see what I was drawing and I'd have to take a break. And they were not sad tears. They were happy tears, realizing everything that had happened and how grateful I actually was for these horrible things and how my life has changed. Ooh, we gotta do a big skirt, don't we? I keep getting distracted. One of the medications I was on actually like completely jacked up my memory for a while. And I think I'm still recovering. So I'm sitting there. I sat on that video for probably 2 weeks of it being done, and I just can't get myself to post it because I'm like, oh, do I need to have like a backlog of videos ready before I post that? Like what are people expecting from me? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how to describe some of my thoughts. If it's something anxious, it doesn't usually make sense, which is why I don't listen to it. But when you're stuck in a standstill because you have to make a decision, you know, anxiety is not always the problem, it's commitment. Because it's like, okay, you kind of just have to commit to your goal here. Is that too poofy? Is that skirt too poofy? It's a little bit more flexible than the ELO. So my eraser idea is still too blendy. What about this lens case? Ooh, better. Now she's alive. Oh shoot, where was I? I just got stuck in this standstill. And part of it actually was I was reevaluating a lot of my goals in life. Because now that I was starting to feel interest in different things, my life had changed so much. I'm like, okay, what do I really actually want? Like, what do I want? Because I feel like it's very easy to like get into the groove of like worrying what other people want and not. And you can wake up one day and realize, am I where I want to be or am I where people have told me I want to be? And so I wanted to be 100% sure and I suppose ready. Because like I didn't want to like post something and then never again. But I also was not entirely sure if YouTube was something I wanted anymore. Because I'd found so many beautiful things. But yeah, the art was still calling to me. So I was like, well, what is this? And video editing. And I'm like, I'd done some video editing for my friends and stuff. Like little videos I made of us. And like it's just always so fun. It's like it's something I love. It's not just the art. Like I love making videos and this and that. And so I'm like, okay, well, is that something I really want to give up forever? Or I don't know. And at one point I thought I did, but that's the cool thing about people is they change. I suppose sometimes that's the worst part about people, but I think it's one of the best. So then we come to about a week ago. It's May 1st. I guess that's 2 weeks ago. I wake up and like I wasn't really thinking about it. Like you know when you wake up you don't really think about the exact date. But your brain does kind of be like, oh, whoa, like, oh, it's a new day. What do I have to do today? Like, oh, what time do I have to get to work? You know? And one of the questions in my brain was like, what? Wait. Yesterday was the last day of April, so like today's May. And then I was flooded with this desire to draw a mermaid. And like, I don't know how else to, I actually don't know how to describe this. I just knew I was going to say hi to you that day. And so I was like, oh, I got to make some art. And I started drawing this mermaid on my computer. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be the best mermaid I ever drew. Oh yeah, we're good. And then I'm going to say hi. And then they'll be like, wow, her art's so good. And wow, we miss her too much because she's so good at art or whatever. I don't think this was actually my thought, but this was how I was behaving. So it must have been there somewhere deep down. And I start drawing, and it's not living up to these expectations. But I'm like, okay, well, the sketch isn't so bad. Let's just add some really good color. We'll do it like super painterly style, and it's gonna be so impressive. And they'll be like, wow, she got better. It's so cool. And that wasn't working. It was looking like absolute poo-poo. And I was running out of time because I had someplace to be. I'm like, oh no, I only have like 2 minutes to finish this. And so I quickly realized I was not going to be able to do the color. And so I just like slapped a gradient on it, tweaked it a little bit, and then posted it. And I just was honest about it. There was really no pretenses there. That was just me sharing what I had and in that moment, being pretty raw. And it was honestly the reception of that little sketch that made me realize it was safe. That like, it's not about coming back perfect or with a plan. It's kind of just like, you only need a plan if you're trying to impress somebody. And I realized I didn't have to do that. Like, sure, there's people that aren't gonna like what I do now, or maybe won't like the changes or the fact that I was gone for so long, and like, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. But there was at least one person who cared, and there was more than one, and they cared a lot. And I was beginning to see, like, this might sound weird, but like the humanity, like your humanity. Because I know I could not process the numbers that I was getting. And I don't know if anyone really can. Maybe they can, and I'm just a horrible human being. I don't know. I don't think so. But the stories you were sharing was like so raw and real too, and I started feeling this connection that I wanted to hugs. I just wanted to hug everybody, and I wanted to give something of myself. And so that was like I finally was able to give myself permission, because I just knew I didn't need a grand scheme. I didn't need a backlog of videos. I didn't even need to know if I could make videos, because I was like, oh, you got to sit down and see if you actually can sit here and talk and draw at the same time. These look like two very different people. These look like they could be the same person. This is a whole new lady. Oh man, I've completely gotten lost again. It is hard to draw and talk at the same time. I'll figure it out. I was pretty good at it back in the day. Oh, that's what happened. So I've made up this mind. It's my mind. I made up my mind that I was going to post this video the next Saturday. I did make a few final little like changes or whatever, and I couldn't remember at this point all the things that I had wanted to add to it, because there was like a bunch of things where, you know, it was part of what I was telling myself it wasn't ready. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I can't really remember what else I wanted to add to this to make it different. And so I'm like, people won't know either, so let me just watch it as is, and that's how people will see it. And I think that was actually really helpful, to be honest. So then I reached this point where the actual video is completely done, and I've uploaded it and gotten it scheduled, and all of a sudden the most intense doubts start filling my head about whether or not this is the right thing. But I also knew I'd already made my decision, and one of the things I've been practicing over the last few years is not going back on a decision that I've made for myself, because you need to have respect for yourself and your decisions, or how can you trust yourself if you're always going back on the decisions you make, you know? So even though I'm feeling like I'm not going to post it, I like kind of know that I'm still going to post it. The reason I was having these doubts though was because I kept trying to draw, and I was hating every second of it. I was like, how can you post a video on an account called DrawingWiffWaffles when you hate drawing? You are an imposter. Wow, I'm not doing the sketch properly. I'm like going from the head down, which is the worst strategy. As you can see, I'm right now drawing. So this obviously was not true. But I went to my brother's graduation, and the keynote speaker talks about well, he was in an entrepreneurial setting, right? But he was like, oh, they don't buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. And this kind of struck me because I was like, I think that's my problem. Like, I can't sell art to myself right now because I don't know why I'm drawing. I had been fueled by this like session of like really enjoying the storytelling aspect, but I wasn't sure that was really what I liked about drawing necessarily. Although I do know it is a big part. It wasn't enough to convince myself to keep drawing when it sucked, when it was hard, you know? When like there's parts of art that take a lot more effort than others, you know, and like that just didn't feel like enough to fuel me in a time when I didn't have a story I was trying to tell. And so you could say like, oh, well, just get a story to tell. I suppose that's a good tip. But I didn't have a story. I was like, I don't have a story to tell right now. There must be something else to this. There must be some part, like if art is something that seems to have followed me around for so long, like there must be something I like about art. She looks like she's on the toilet. Excuse me. Let's just make this a bit more of a feminine sitting posture. There we go. Let's pop a squat. Anytime there's like a long pause and then a lot more gets drawn and I don't say anything, it's because I forgot where I was at. Oh, okay. So now I'm at this point where I've heard this message from the keynote speaker, but I'm not actively thinking about it. I just know my next goal is to post the video, and then we'll figure out what's next. And maybe we don't like drawing, and maybe that's all there'll be. So the day after that graduation, there was like a party I was supposed to go to. Was planning on going, but I don't know, some part of me did not want to go. And like I really like being around people. I love being alone, and I also love being around people. But you don't always get to choose when you're around people, so when you're given the opportunity, you obviously jump on it, right? Anyway, I was getting a little bit of FOMO, and I felt like I'd made the wrong decision. I think I just laid down in my bed, and I opened up YouTube, which was something else I'd been avoiding for a while, and I saw there was a live stream that was posted by the artist Aaron Blaze. Drawing Triceratops live or something like that. I don't know, I could link it down below. It wouldn't be hard to find. That's right, I kind of wanted to learn how to draw dinosaurs. This is something I've wanted for a very long time and just never did. And so I grabbed my sketchbook and I turned on the YouTube video and I sat there and drew with him. But I just realized how much encyclopedic knowledge this man had on the muscle structure of animals. And he was explaining how, like, once you understand this structure, you can apply it to create, like, your own animals and your own creatures and this and that. And, like, in this, like, light bulb moment, I realized all the parts of art that were making me so grumpy and, like, actually almost making me angry when I was doing it were the parts that I just didn't understand. And so I'm following along as he's sort of describing some of the basics of quadruped animals. Is that how I said it? And he would like say a specific muscle, and then he'd just draw this like little line like somewhere near like the horse's gut. And I was like, oh, why does this little tiny line look so perfect? And he would like say the name of the muscle. It occurred to me, this is stuff you can learn. And I was just like blown away because if you've watched my storytime video, you'll know I really fell in love with learning. And it was like the puzzle piece like fit together and it was like, oh, you can learn about art. Like this seems so simple and so dumb. It's obvious, but it just was not obvious to me until this very moment. So then I can show you these. I started drawing heads. Oh, here's me following along with this video. But here, yeah, Aaron Blaze, perfect, okay. I want to hide this part of it. You can't see this part yet. But, so I started drawing faces and actively thinking with all my brain muscles about every little line I was making. And these weren't even with reference. This was just from my imagination at the time. But it was like so fun. And I was thinking about everything that was going on under what I was drawing. And so it was almost like I was like searching my head for all the knowledge I actually did have, but had not been using. And I realized there was actually a decent amount there. The amount of fun I was having doing that just highlighted how much I want to learn. And I want to learn the muscle structure, and I want to understand everything about anatomy so that my art can improve, because that's fun to me. And I remember I almost felt like a little bit of a fake when I was realizing this, because I remember telling people in videos where I was like, you don't have to be constantly improving. You can do it just because it's fun. But I rationalized this with myself because I was like, well, but learning is what I find fun. And it's not necessarily about improving, but it's about learning and then being able to see what you've learned applied in front of you. And something else I actually have just been thinking about earlier this morning was I don't think it's actually learning that I love as much as understanding. And so it's like this pursuit of understanding and knowledge that I find fun. Luckily, I enjoy the process of learning, but it's really the knowledge that I'm pursuing, if that makes sense. So I realized that that was my why. Like, that is why I like art. I love seeing something take shape. And when I know how to make something look the way I want to, that's really fun to me. So not only do I like the learning, so the learning is fun, but the having the knowledge is even funner. And so when there's times where I don't feel like learning a thing, it's the idea of having that knowledge that pushes me through the discomfort of learning at times, you know? And like, that was my why. And then, back to this, I drew this little thing. Ba-doo! They're my characters. It just naturally progressed into other things I loved. And then once this happened, I just started feeling pages and pages of this story. And I've been writing it ever since. Finishing it, working on it. We'll see where it goes. It's just really fun for me. And I'm like, so now it's somehow mixed my storytelling and my learning and my drawing, and they're all becoming this one conglomerate that has been making me so freaking happy. I can't describe it. I'm like, just on a general day, I like wake up excited. And it just keeps growing bigger and bigger. You know, like, sometimes you don't want to share something because you're like, oh, well, it's new and it's fresh, so it might not last. But, like, it's still growing. And, like, yeah, there's probably still a good chance that it fizzles out. That's just kind of life. But at this point, it's, like, still growing. In my experience, that's kind of uncommon. It's like every time I put in a little bit more fuel, the fire actually gets bigger. And then the fuel turns into charcoal, and I don't even have to put as much fuel in it, and then my projects are getting cooked faster. I don't know. This analogy is getting lost. It's not necessarily like these things were always completely separated, but it's like I feel like I've gotten a funnel and now they're finally going where they need to go instead of just getting all over the place. And so we will see where they go, but for right now, I'm just very excited to make, to create, and to share it with you if you're interested. So you're free to join me. It's funny because I like remember when there was something that would make me grumpy, and I'm like backgrounds, for instance. I like specifically remember this. And the reality of it was I didn't like how long it took to draw backgrounds, and they never turned out good. And then at some point I took some time to like learn perspective grids. And I'm like the raw basics. Like I was not like an expert in this by any means. And as soon as I learned how to fake it, backgrounds got a lot more fun. I still didn't really enjoy finishing backgrounds, but I started to like actually drawing them a little bit. And if that ain't the truth about a lot of things, where it's like, oh, well, you just learn to do the bare minimum and then you run away with it. But like I actively have this desire to learn and to put the effort in because I've seen how much more fun things are for me. Like, you could be different. Like, I'm not telling you how to be. I'm just explaining my experience. But like, just how fun things are when I understand what I'm doing. But I don't know, something's changed. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. It's almost like having the knowledge of what oh, Bubby. If you're wondering how Bubby's doing, he also is being kept alive with a lot of prescription medications, just like me. So we have a lot more in common now. We were made. Wait, what's this? That's also from Wicked. Wait. We deserve each other. My dog and me. We're both so drugged. By prescription only. I guess what I'm trying to say is like having the knowledge of what I want helps me make a clear decision and know what I want. To like take care of myself. No, I don't like that line. That was supposed to be the wall. I was just like, what do I look at as a pillar? Anyway, I haven't really been talking about what I've been drawing. I don't know how this happened. I was trying to tell a story while I did that drawing. And we got here. But yeah, I don't really want to fake it anymore. I guess that's maybe And by fake it, I don't mean like lying. I just mean like cutting corners. Like authentically learn some stuff and apply it to my art and see where that takes me. So that's gonna be a lot of what I think this channel is focused on in the future. And I definitely highly encourage finding your why so that you can be more engulfed in your hobby. We're gonna try this color. Ooh, that is loud. Oh, I should see what this looks like on the other side. Okay, it definitely goes through. This bird. I'm going over the graphite. This is gonna give me the ick, but I'm doing it anyway. Cute. Oh, also, if you're wondering why there isn't a side angle, it's because I literally can't remember how I set that up. I'll have to do some experimenting. We'll figure it out. All right, we're gonna draw something that we're gonna color. Also, she hasn't really been developing. I think it's because I was putting so much thought into what I was saying. I just kept drawing the same thing over and over again. So let's try and come up with the finished. Oh, I made her too short, unless I have her going off the edge. She can go off the edge, well, it'll be fine. Oh, it's so weird drawing in pink! Oh, the back of her head's actually over here because her head's slightly tilted, which means I needed to move the neck over just a little. I don't think you ever see her ears, but I drew them. There's something weird about a slightly historical princess smiling like this. Like they're taking a photo. It's a little unsettling. And I don't know why. Seems like we've pretty much committed to this kind of neckline. I'm gonna elongate her torso a little. And then let's do the fur. That was kind of fun. How do you draw that? It's like I see it in all the old drawings of like medieval fairy tales and stuff, but like what fur is this? Is this fur? Like what animal does this come from? Go more medieval. Oh, that's something I want to learn. This little armpit. I want to be able to draw armpits. Okay, she's coming off very stiff, but something is not right. A little space for her leg to jet out a little bit. Ooh, hey. I think her body was just way off center. That's so much better. Thank goodness. Ooh, I just shot. Oh no, stop. Don't shoot crap on my desk. Little fur, little fur. Now what do I want to do for arms? I did really like those puffy sleeves though. Maybe just make them longer and puffy. Oh, and I want to learn folds. I want to learn proper folds and learn densities of fabrics and how to draw the folds. And I have put a lot of time into that one, which is probably why I like drawing them, but definitely there's always room for improvement. That's why I don't know how I could probably actually in reality actually get bored of art, because I don't think it's possible to know how to draw everything. Ooh, with like an outer skirt. That's so cool. You could have a little extra smoosh on it. Okay, the smile's still creeping me out. We'll just do a little smirk. Do I even like that better? Do I? Do I? I like everything right now except the smile. Maybe just a smaller smile. Oh wait, that's kind of cute and dainty. That's the one. I just need to get rid of this blob of the old one. But it's a color erase. You can't really erase it completely. Yeah, it's erasable, but it's only so erasable. You know what it might be? It's all this like makeup that it looks like is on our face. Whoa, did that help? Whoa! Much less Barbie. She's still got a little Barbie, you know? Little Barbie's okay. I just don't want to go full Barbie. But I just like it so much I don't want to ruin it. But I guess you learn by making mistakes. The only problem is I have no idea what the colors are, so I'm going to have to do a little thumbnail down here. Alright, there's my little thumbnail. Now I'm picturing like reds, yellows, and blacks. Wow, look how well that just eats that pencil. It's just gone. And then the yellow, that's called primary yellow. Doesn't feel super medieval. Red veil. Alright, there's something to be said. There's something to be said. And I do need black in here. Supposed to be this kind of looking thing. What if I like limited the colors? Just need another thumbnail. Then we can try on some more colors. Let me try just the yellow on everything. Literally everything. Literally everything. So it's just these like accents. This poor liner's dying on me. Alright, I'll be honest. I like the single color one more. But I could also use salmon for like a little pop of some contrast somewhere, you know. Or like the veil is a little bit more orange. I kind of like that. Oh, but she also needs a skin tone. If we're talking medieval, she's probably like whiter than snow, right? She's never seen the sun. She's only been told stories. We'll see when it dries. It might be a little lighter. And because I have all this pink, like it's gonna catch and make it darker anyways. Whatever. Oh, this is when I would use a kneaded eraser. Can you tell how out of practice I am? I use a kneaded eraser to lighten this up. Can we do that with this? You know, sometimes there are just tools you need. And this might be one of those cases. I just really want to use all this. I have so many of these. All right, so we're just gonna lightly erase the face. And then we're gonna go over with the pale cherry pink. I'm gonna start with the neck because that's solvable if I don't like it. It's so dark. Is that really the lightest? Pastel peach. Ooh, interesting. That would give a more pale appearance because it's like yellow and she's yellow. So, and we're already gonna be picking up the pink from the sketch. So I think we'll use that. See, that's why I did under the neck first. Genius. Although now that looks like she's seen some sun. Ooh. Lady, how repulsive. Who would ever marry you? Blend it out a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and use cream for the base of the dress and do a little bit of erasing so it's not too pink. I'm gonna not erase the pink here because it's a different texture and I want to see what happens. Go over some areas to kind of give the illusion of the folds and the fabric bunching up. I don't need to erase the pink. Now with these darker colors, I'm definitely seeing it's all kind of patchy looking. I can add another layer on top to kind of work on that, but then obviously the color gets even darker. And then we're using salmon for the veil. I don't know what she's making me think of. Burger King? Or am I crazy? Yeah, I wanted black for the hair. Do I have a better liner? Now this does not work with markers, but I can do it on top of markers. It's kind of thick, but I have a little bit of control. It's kind of felt tipped. It's the Identi-Pen. Let's try it. Let's try for this first, because this was gonna be like this kind of fun, sketchy texture. Interesting. It's definitely visible. That's a plus. Oop, straight line. Straight line. I'm not sure I want to use this on the skin. I don't like it on the yellow. And I did it in a very prominent space, so we might have to just finish up the yellow with it. But I don't like it. Oh, this is perfect for this part. I wonder if this is bleeding through. It's not. Add in the fur. That definitely helps with the medieval look. Now for the hair. I wonder if I should use the other side of this. We're going to start with this because it gives you a little more control, which is what we want for the edges. Eyebrows. Add that to the list of things I want to learn. I really just need to do the face. It's kind of the last piece of the puzzle here. Don't like that face as much. Eh? How do we think? I think the eyes definitely need something else. Alright, we're gonna have to go over the eyes with the liner, I think. Maybe a nostril. This nose has completely changed shape. Wow, there's so many things I want to learn. It's kind of exciting. Oh wait, I'm like, what is this strip of white hair? All right, I keep touching it. I think I keep making it worse. I can't tell. That means it's time to stop touching it. It's very simple. Getting in the groove of things again. And we will see what happens in the future. I've got lots of ideas and plans and we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm signing off and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!